So Jake, fully embracing the Texas look now, huh?
100%. Everything's bigger in Texas, including my knockouts.
And kind of press release came out today. This is going to be like the second highest gate in the history of the American Airlines Arena. What does that say about how much build this fight has and how much interest there is right now in the midst of fight week?
Yeah, I mean, it's huge, and as we predicted, and it's just exciting. I like big events. I come alive in big moments, so it's cool, and it's crazy how all this has happened in 3.5 years, and just making historic numbers and continuing to break records.
I always think back to that first interview we did, right? Like even before the Ben Askren fight, and you pretty much said this was going to be the timeline of how things would happen. I'm going to get Nate when he leaves the UFC. Is it almost surreal though that like we're here and this is a fight week and you just put this into the world so long ago and it came to fruition?
Yeah, it's surreal, but also you like believing in the power of manifestation. It's taken me so far in life, and I guess now it doesn't shock me as much because of just like how real it is and how self-belief is probably one of the most powerful things in the world. Because I was saying these things and everyone would just be like, ha ha, this kid, ha. But if you put in the work and you dedicate yourself and you believe in yourself more than anyone else in the world, then great things can happen for you.
Is that diamond encrusted brass knuckles?
Yeah.
I guess they're not really brass knuckles,
They're diamond knuckles.
Yeah. How much did that cost?
This was like $100K.
100K?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's expensive weapon. No, it's more a jewelry piece, but yeah.
The watches, the bracelets, what do you think you have total on your body right now?
Just like 250, 200. Nothing crazy.
Just $250,000.
Yeah, I mean, but that's not a lot these days.
Maybe to you.
No, but like in general for like jewelry and shit, like I don't know, but yeah.
Is this the biggest money fight for you so far? Like you'll make more in this fight probably than all the other ones?
Potentially, yeah. Yeah, it all depends on the pay-per-view. But obviously the numbers are trending. Our biggest commercial pay-per-view yet. The tickets are the highest they've ever been. So all the numbers are trending in the right direction.
You told me when we did that interview a few weeks ago that you thought maybe 400,000 or 500,000 pay-per-view buys would be nice, but since then the ESPN layer came in for ESPN Plus. How much do you think that changes things in terms of the exposure?
I think it makes the fight twice as big just with their built-in audience. So yeah, it could potentially be the biggest pay-per-view yet. And like I said, yeah, ESPN Plus being involved, the Zone, so we have a bigger audience, more media covering it, so it's great for the event.
I know we asked you yesterday a little bit about, what Nate has been like this week, but I just want your honest take about what's going on with him, because we were supposed to talk to him yesterday too, and he kind of walked off. Some of us got him, some of us didn't, and I mean obviously you saw what happened with the face-off with Ariel on Wednesday or Tuesday. What do you think's going on with him?
I think he's just acting like a punk. He's anxious, he's scared, he's timid, he's making excuses, he's not standing on business, he's not making any final predictions. I think he knows what's going to happen, honestly. And when someone is set up in this trap and he can't escape, he's gonna act crazy like he is. But it's typical Nate Diaz behavior. That's why I said I'm going to beat his ass, because he's disrespectful to everyone, wasting people's time, is unprofessional, and someone has to pay for that, and he's going to on Saturday night.
You've watched Nate for a really long time. Is this kind of what you expected? He's kind of unpredictable guy, but did you expect this? Did you expect him to do more or different stuff?
Yeah, I just expected him to, bring something exciting to the table and to be a good promoter, because that's what he had done in the UFC, and that's why he got so popular. But he's just been pretty boring and just not saying much, not riling his fan base up. So yeah, he's been pretty dead, pretty nonchalant. But like I said, Saturday night, all that matters is the fight, and that's what I'm mostly focused on.
You were pretty, before the fight in Saudi, you were saying Nate's next regardless, basically. Obviously you were expecting to win that fight. Is that still your mindset where you kind of have the next 2 or 3 planned out?
Yes and no. I think Nate was always the plan since he was getting out of the UFC. But right now I'm just focused on this fight. and we'll see what happens moving on from here. There's still a lot of big names, a lot of big fights to be made, and again, I'm just going to continue to challenge myself and continue to fight big names in the sport.
Obviously, this time around, could you tell us a bit about the new guys you've brought in and what the differences are?
Yeah, it's night and day. I mean, on the strength and conditioning side, my cardio is just like doubled. Larry Wade coming in and just teaching me like a different science behind strength and conditioning. My nutritionist has me eating properly throughout the whole entire camp, monitoring every calorie, every macro, every micro. So I'm in the best shape of my life, feeling better than ever. My body's running amazingly. And then the head coach, third, came in with Shane and just worked a lot of my footwork back to basic fundamentals, being on balance, and not letting me make as many mistakes, but bringing back my rhythm in my fighting and having fun, because that was something that my other coaches like sort of took away. And that's one of my best assets, is just me going in there and having fun and being in a flow.
Negative necessarily about BJ, and he's certainly been very positive about you. It sounds like it wasn't like a bad breakup, it was just like we've got to this point in the road and now I need something else.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's not really BJ that was the issue at all. It was other coaches. So BJ wasn't the issue at all, and he's a great guy, and we text all the time, and he's supporting me, big supporter, and we talk. He helps get sparring partners. He's still involved somewhat as a consultant.
Sorry guys, but could I ask about the fight in Manchester, your brother's fight, Logan? Are you going to go out to that, and what are your feelings about Logan getting back in the ring?
I'm super excited for him. I'm happy as a brother to see him train and to see him go back up there, and I'm going to be there for sure.
Controversial day. You've got a couple of rivals in the main event then.
Yeah. It might be a madhouse. It might be a madhouse, but I'm all for it.
Jake, the first time I interviewed you, you said that the guy that you wanted to fight the most, kind of your final boss, was Conor McGregor. And I think that was in 2020. A lot of people at that time were like, that's not even realistic. How could Jake Paul? You're speaking to Nate Robinson. How are you going to get to Conor McGregor? And now, you're fighting Nate Diaz, a guy who is the main rival of Conor McGregor. If you beat Nate Diaz, how close do you think you can be, and how do you make that fight happen?
Yeah, look, when I knock out Nate Diaz and do what Conor couldn't, I think, it only makes sense for him to want that money fight. But I just don't know how serious he's taking fighting at all, and I don't know how serious the fighting world's taking him. Like, who knows if he still has that same appeal. But look, I've always said I'll fight him. I'm down. It's a big, massive event. He obviously has to ask his boss, Dana, if he can do that. I'm my own boss. I make my own decisions. I can fight whoever, wherever, whenever. So he's really tied up, and even if he wants to do it, Dana might not let him do it.
This last thing, just one quick one. On the Untold series, Mike Tyson had this quote: he's going to save boxing as long as he continues to fight. He's got the light, you know what I mean? He's touched, he's got the light. To hear that, what did that mean to you?
Yeah, it's surreal. It's really cool, and it means the world to me. It means more than anything else that I've done, and man, I hope to help this sport, because this sport helped me in so many ways, and I just want to continue to make it a better sport and make boxing great again. But Mike Tyson's a legend, and man, I'm just so grateful that he's sort of taken me under his wing and given me the opportunity to fight Nate Robinson on his undercard. So honestly, it's all kudos to him, and boxing's the best sport in the world, and I'm gonna die, with that, die on my shield with that. So yeah.